Why do we suffer at the hands of these politicians? Don't you know politicians work for you? Hey! You're the boss. You hire them and you fire them. Look at their campaign. You know what they do? They audition. Yeah! When you put them on the job, if they're not doing the job, then you fire them. Because you're in control. From the city to the state to Congress to the president. You run the...
Hello everybody, this is Jerry Williams. Welcome back to Talk Labor. And of course you know this is the place we come to talk. You've got it on your mind, you talk about it. If it's good, you talk about it. If it's bad, you talk about it. If you don't know, ask questions. And I said ask, not ask. Ask. You know how we talk. But anyway, we got a lot of things to talk about today. We're going to be talking about, like I say, my coalition brothers and sisters. We want you to, be aware of what's going on. Got a lot to tell you about today. Bring you up to date as to what's going on. And we're going to talk about the orange-haired guy. Some things that people don't normally talk about. And we're going to talk about Social Security, and we got a whole lot of subjects that we're going to talk about tonight. So y'all sit back, relax, and let's have this conversation. Just like we're sitting on the corner talking. We just don't have a bottle of wine, but we're sitting on the corner talking. Okay? Let's start with that racist from Papa John. I think he pronounces his name Scatter. Now, he's embroiled in another controversy in regards to African Americans. He had the nerve to get on a conference call and just call black people niggers like it was just, hey, this a run of the mill. This is what I do. And then when he got busted, he said, well, Colonel Sanders called them niggers, and why can't I call them niggers? Is this man stupid? I mean, he was the guy that said that the blacks shouldn't be kneeling at the flag, and Papa John, I think that Papa John went to his head. They have been losing sales like 40 going north. So what they told him is, hey partner, I know you started this company, but you got to resign. Because if you continue to do this, we won't have a company. So he resigned. He said he's going to resign. He did resign. Now he wants to unresign, if there is such a thing. He said hey, I didn't mean to resign, and I feel like I have a right to speak my, this is my First Amendment. I should be able to say what I want to say. You can. We can't tell you what to say and what not to say. But I tell you what, we can tell you whether we're going to buy your food or not. If this guy is left in charge, well, I'm not going to buy Papa John's stuff anyway. But if this guy is left in charge, I wouldn't buy anything from him, because if he feels that way about African Americans, what's to stop him from urinating in your food or throwing dirt in your food or just doing stuff because he don't like you or encouraging his people to do stuff like that? I wouldn't buy a cracker from him. So, Mr. Papa John, get to stepping. We don't need you. He also said that, we pulled out from the NFL. They were talking about they left us, and we pulled out. But I understand the NFL said they were so happy that them guys left. They got somebody right away and replaced them and got more endorsement. So much for Papa John, or whatever his name, Scatner. But anyway, we move on to another subject. How many times have you been pulled over for no reason at all by the police department? I know a lot of us have. And we call that driving while black. I don't like to whine and moan about things. I like to do things about it. These people have been pulling us over, shooting and killing our young black men, and shooting black women too. Now, what's his name? Johnson, the police chief for Chicago. when he came on, I thought he was gangbusters. He said, hey, I'm going to put the people in the neighborhood, cops in the neighborhood that reflect the neighborhood. And that hasn't happened yet. And he turns around, he says he's going to be fair about everything. He going to let everybody see it. He's going to talk about what the real facts are. Seems like he's jumped on the police side on everything. He's jumped on everything that happened. He jumped on the police officer side. The one that murdered that woman, they called the police to say the young man had a baseball bat. This coward, this pig, came in and shot in the door, shot inside the house, killed the lady that opened the door for him, and then turned around and shot this kid that allegedly had a baseball bat. And then they're gonna say it was justifiable. And the fat boy said it was too. Johnson said it was justifiable. I have no respect for you no more, Justin. Johnson. I had high hopes. I was telling my friends. They were telling me, hey, Jerry, he's just like the rest. He ain't no better. I'm like, well, give him a chance, man. Give him a chance. And look what you did. Make me look like a damn fool. And you just turn your back on your own people. You turn your back on your own people. It shouldn't be an us against them, but you should be right in the middle. You should protect your policemen, but you also should protect this community. You haven't done that. You haven't done that. But you know what I would like to see you do is I want you to take a look at this clip on Driving While Black. Just take a look at this clip and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is totally, totally, totally ridiculous, but it ain't nothing new because you've seen it before. You've seen it before.
Am I being placed under arrest?
You're not under arrest.
I'm asking for the reason why we're being pulled over. You have still failed to identify why you have pulled us over.
I'm not pulling you. You're the passenger. Come on up.
Why are you pulling me out of my car, sir? Take your hands off of me. I have not did nothing. I have not did nothing. I have no weapons. I have no weapons. You have no reason to pull me out of the car. This is assault.
Turn around. Turn around. Turn around.
You see this? You see this? Excessive force.
So he was asking why he was being pulled over, right? He asked why he was being arrested. They didn't really say anything. I think they gave him some relatively minor infractions, and then they were just released. What's your reaction?
Right, and it looks like he's on the passenger side of the car. So even if somebody else is driving, there's nothing.
His brother was driving.
Right. So what could you possibly have done? In terms of traffic on the passenger side of the car. I mean, these are the kinds of incidents I think that cause the trauma, and these are the kinds of incidents that get passed around between black man to black man in barbershops where people discuss this sort of thing, and then and even for the people who have not yet experienced it or maybe will never experience it, they experience it kind of vicariously.
The cops say that he was driving slowly in a high crime area. The ACLU said clearly a case of profiling.
Right. Well, then that begs the question: at what speed do you need to drive through the high crime area? Do I need to be going 80 miles per hour to get out of it? I mean, it's kind of a ludicrous idea, right? What does that mean? Would you drive the speed limit through the high crime area? Otherwise, you're committing a crime and adding to the crime in the high crime area.
Yeah. The police department says they can't comment because it's an active investigation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. Right.
So you saw that? You saw that clip? That's what I'm talking about. That's what happens to us. And what I want you to do, if you're a reader, pick up the book Suspect Citizens. And it's by Frank Baumgartner, Derek Epps, and Kelsey Shaw. Pick it up and read it. And you'll see what I'm talking about. They have so much in there that you just wouldn't believe. Like, when you're driving down the street, blacks are stopped twice as much as whites. Even though whites drive, the more whites driving than they are black. But they're stopped twice as much. They're made to get out of the car. They're searched this doesn't happen to other people. In their book, they say ordinary citizens. We're ordinary citizens. And we got to learn how to stand up and stop this. And there's only one way to do it. You all really got to understand this. You got to vote. You got to vote from your school board to the alderman. You know, in your town, in your city, vote people in that's going to look out for the community. When you got bad rogue cops, they should be thrown off the force. They should not stay on the force because they'll ruin the good cops that we have. You know, you put a bad apple in a barrel, it'll ruin all the other apples if you don't do something about it. So, you know, what I want you to do is make sure you get out there and vote. Sign up people. Now you see how important it is, how super important it is that you vote, that you get out there and vote. One other reason, and first I want to talk about it. I'm gonna skip and come back because I wanted to talk about Social Security, but we're gonna skip that and come right back to it. We're gonna talk about Donald Trump, the orange-haired guy. Donald Trump versus Barack Obama. You know, every time they catch him doing something, he says, well, you know, Obama didn't do this and Obama didn't do that. He is so obsessed with Obama. He wants to be like Obama. He wants to be strong, and nobody respects him. He went across the seas and tried to have meetings with foreign leaders, and they had all kinds of stuff like, get rid of this clown, get him out of here. Nobody wanted to hear what he had to say. Trump tried to be, he tried to measure himself up to Barack Obama, but he doesn't come up to Barack's knees. Matter of fact, he don't even come up to his ankles. And I think he was elected after, and I think I've said this before, you elected this African American. We're gonna show you. We're gonna elect the most racist white guy out there that speaks out and says he's racist. We're gonna stick with him, and we're gonna do the things that whatever he wants us to do. Now, this guy said that I could shoot somebody in the middle of Times Square, and these people are still supporting me. Okay, they still support me. I believe that. And because all the things he's doing right now, they still support him. They still support him. So I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna finish this up because I'm getting the signal now that we want to go to a commercial, but we're gonna come right back and we're gonna talk about this. Be right back. Hey, we're back, and still talking about the orange-haired guy. And you know, I told you I didn't want to talk about him a lot, but sometimes you have to. I'm not going to go over the things that you saw on television, you saw for yourself. He's the weakest, cowardest, big fat guy I've ever seen in my life. He comes across real tough when it comes to separating little kids from their mothers. I'm tough on the border, and I'm tough. Then when it came to Vladimir Putin, he was like, well, you know, I mean, I don't want to make him mad. My God, you guys, this is your hero? This is your goddamn hero. But anyway, when Obama was elected president, he showed you how a president should function. I mean, he was the president. This other guy, when you hired him, he showed you how to destroy a country. This is the only thing he's doing. Destroyed the country. I want you to take a look at this photo of him and Hillary Clinton and read what it says on there. That's the important thing. Read what it says on there. Yeah. Okay. So, now Trump followers, you all think that he's going to come in and he's going to put the Negroes in their places and the Hispanics in their places, and he don't like them. He don't like the blacks. He don't like the Look, he don't like you either. What you fail to realize is that he don't like America. I mean, he tries to get what he wants by having us divide and fight. Fight with each other. Then he can get what he wants. Remember I said, you remember when he said, I love my poorly educated? He was talking about you all. Because he know you don't know a damn thing. You know, he plays you like a fiddle because you don't know anything. So he loves his poorly educated. But I tell you what, I'm getting bored, and I know you probably getting bored talking about this guy, so I'm through with him for a while. You know, let me bring you up to date on some things that's important. One of the things that's important is your Social Security, especially you millennials. Guard your Social Security. Because, you know, when you think that, well, I'm not going to be old, that's for older people. I mean, one day, if you're fortunate enough, you're going to be old enough to get your Social Security. Right now, you can get it at 62 years old. Now they're trying to get you, they're trying to force it back to 67 and 69. You know, if you all let them do that, there's nothing we can do. But you young people, fight for yours. We're going to fight for ours. We're going to make sure we keep ours as long as we're here on this earth. You know, but what they did, what the government did was they took and borrowed money from Social Security, the type of money that you just wouldn't believe. Social Security brings in $2.9 trillion. That's what Social Security does. What they do is they borrow out of that to pay other bills. And then they tell you that Social Security is going belly up only because they're borrowing the money out of it. But they're not borrowing it, they're taking the money out of it. So you got to stay on top of it just as we stayed on top of it. Okay? What do you think would happen if Congress paid Social Security their money back? That money back into Social Security they're taking out? Yeah, I don't know. You'll figure that out yourself. I don't even have to go there. I don't have to go there. You know what I want to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to take one more break, and we're going to come back, and we want to talk about some of this stuff, okay? We really want to talk about some of this stuff. And I want to get to my coalition people because this is imperative that you know what's going on, okay? So I'll be right back.
Hey, loser.
Leave me alone. When a child shares hurtful comments online, that's bullying. Visit erasebullying.ca to learn how to help your child stand up to cyberbullying.
Okay, we're back, and we want to just talk a little bit about the coalition, the CTA Pensioner Coalition. We're looking to have a regular quarterly meeting. I'm thinking it's going to be early August. And for some who wonder why it's taking so long to get our money back, let me explain it to you step by step so you'll understand it. First of all, your union signed it away. And I want you to take a look at this article. We're going to put that article right up on, and I hope you can read it because we're going to put it right up on the screen, and I want you to take a look at this article. The union people that was representing you at that time, and when one of them is back in there now, they gave away your your pension. They let this guy, Gannon, he was the president of the Chicago Federation of Labor, talk them into giving up a big part of their pay raise and giving up the pension, and illegally take money away from pensioners that's already out on pension. This guy did that. Read it for yourself. This is the Chicago Sun-Times. I kept that, and I'll keep it as long as I'm around, because I couldn't believe that they let this happen. And they, instead of negotiating themselves, they let this guy tell them what to do. Now, the money was taken from them, but when it came to the situation where the money would be taken from his members, he said no. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. And wouldn't let it happen, and went to court and won. But he fooled these Negroes into signing off on it, giving it away, and then tell them that's the best thing for you. Ah, jeez. I couldn't believe that, but it was there, and it was there for sure. But so once they did that, we said, and I said, me and a couple other people that were well abreast of that, said that you can't do that, because we have a article in the Constitution that says you can't take away anything from a retiree or pensions, really, without giving them something of equal value or better. Now, what we did was file the lawsuit. This is step one, so you understand why it took so long. We filed a lawsuit. CTA and the pension said we didn't have a right to file a lawsuit because the union gave it away. So we didn't have a right to do it. So we couldn't file the lawsuit. We had to go to the appellate court. The appellate court ruled with the CTA. I'm sorry, not the appellate court. The circuit court ruled with the CTA. We appealed it to the appellate court. The appellate court, and this is time going on and on, fighting us, not just CTA, the pension, and the union was fighting us, okay? And we went on and we appealed it to the appellate court. The appellate court ruled in our favor. The appellate court said they do have a right to file it because the union do not represent them. Then CTA wanted to appeal it to the Supreme Court. All this is to try to discourage me from pursuing this money that they owe us. They appealed it to the Supreme Court to overrule the appellate court, because the appellate court overruled the circuit court. So they wanted to overrule the appellate court. Appealed it to the Supreme Court. All this has taken years now. Supreme Court ruled in our favor that yes, they do have a right to file it because the union do not represent them. Okay, you understand that now. All this was done because the union agreed to it. And they used that excuse to take money from retirees that they should not have taken. So it took years to do it. I don't get paid for this, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let them walk away with it. And you know why? Last year, it was at $46 million that they owe us. And it's even higher now. And we're talking about only about 2,400 some retirees. Now, that's what they did. That's what they did back then. Then we filed a suit. Like I said, we filed a suit. And it was challenged by the CTA. And we went to the appellate court. Then we went to the Supreme Court. Now, here's what happens. Right now. Now, they have to go back now. Now that we have a right to file the lawsuit, we turn around and filed the lawsuit. It's been about a year since they ruled. year and some months, we filed the lawsuit. CTA has to deal with the lawsuit now. Now, CTA is backed all the way out of it. It is now the pension and the pension board. Pension and the pension board filed a lawsuit against each other as to who's going to pay us should we win it. We are going to win it. That's their squabble, you know, but we don't care who pay for it as long as we get our money. So that's where we are. Now, our attorneys have been going to court on preliminary hearings and stuff like that. We've been trying to get the judge to set a hearing date for the actual trial. We got that coming. It's going to be November 2nd, unless something catastrophic happens. Now, they're still going back and forth to court on discovery and stuff like that. There are subpoenas that are being issued back and forth. Our attorneys are subpoenaing people. Their people, their attorneys are subpoenaing people. So that's going back and forth. That's going to be going on up until November 2nd. The judge says all that is going to have to be cut out. Now we're going to deal with the issue itself. Okay? That's where we are. Now, keep in mind, we're asking for the fact that if a member passes away, that the money would go to his estate, his family, or her family. We're also asking that we be compensated for any losses that we had other than them taking the money out, like copay increases, all that stuff increased. So we are demanding all of that, and the interest on the money. See, what they try to do is drag it as long as they can, put it in escrow, drag it as long as they can, make the money off of it while they're dragging it out, and then pay you. Oh, we've not heard it all. No, we want the money that you're making off the escrow on our money. So that's a part of our lawsuit, okay? So that you will know. That's what we are right now. November, I think, will be the first. November 2nd should be the first time that we actually go to court to recover the damages, okay? We got a lot more to bring you up on, a lot more information to bring you up on, but we want you to come to the meeting so that you'll know what's happening. Now, let's just say we get our $46+ million, okay? We get our $46+ million. Do you think they're going to stop doing what they're doing because we got that $46 million? You think they won't be coming back at you again? This is why we formed a coalition. We have a right, a legal right to sit on that board. Place a retiree on that board. That's what it says in the law. Nobody's ever challenged it before, but we're challenging it. The trades have no business sitting there. They wrote an affidavit to the Supreme Court against us, saying we should not get the money back, and it don't belong to us, and they just A, B, C, and D. So they got to go. We got to have somebody on that board that knows what's going on and will make us aware of everything that's going on and be there to vote to help stop some of this garbage. Okay? We're looking to do that. That's one of the reasons why we formed a coalition. That's who speaks for the pensioners, the coalition. Now, tell you what, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come right back and I'm gonna finish this up, and then I got something a little special for you at the end. Be right back. So we're back, and I want to ask you this question. That money that's in the pension plan belong to pensioners. Even the portion that CTA put in is called deferred wages. Deferred wages, which means that you didn't take your pay increases because you deferred it to your pension. You told CTA, take that and put it in the pension so that when we get ready to retire, we have this kind of money in the pension. So that's your money. But let's look at this. CTA, the initial suit started with retirees filed a lawsuit against the Chicago Transit Authority and the Pension Board. Transit Authority started it out, and then they backed off and ran, okay? But what I look at is this. The CTA take it. Let me back up a bit. When I was telling the guy that we know, and they said, people were saying that, it looked like we might be getting our money back. And one of the brothers said, Jerry, if we get our money back, how is CTA going to pay? Man, I really got upset about that because CTA didn't give a damn about you when they were taking it from you, okay? But what I looked at is this, though, and I know they got more money than the law allows. First of all, in the healthcare trust, they got over $800 million. They owe us $46 million. So, but I'm not saying that to soothe this guy's feeling massage his butt, because you should never think like that. If they're ruthless, you should be ruthless too. Okay, okay. But I looked at this. This is something to think about. That money that's put up there is our money. We put it up. CTA is taking our money to fight us with. To fight us because they took money from us illegally, and we took them to court. So they're using our pension money out of our pension plan. It's not coming out of CTA's caucus. It's not coming out of any of those guys' pockets out there. They took our money that we put up to fight against us. Seems like we should be able to take our money that we put up to fight against them. You ever think about that? Think about that. Eventually, that's probably what's going to happen, because when our attorneys win, they got to pay our attorneys anyway. But it's just that if they're going to take the money out to fight us, then we should be able to take the money out too. This is why you need somebody on that board. This is why you need somebody on that board, because we got to protect ourselves. None of this would be happening. We got some things that we got to have to make them digress and go back and do. First thing is, get those trade people off that board. It was the trade people that talked these people that were the president of both locals into signing away your pension in the first place. It was the trade unions talked them into it. They went up there, Mr. Charlie said, do it. And one of them, 308's president, and this is from my research engineer, Brother Ronald Roach, he said they asked him, why would you sign that memorandum of understanding? And his response was, well, I didn't know what I was signing. That's what I got. I didn't know what I was signing. Anyway, so we got it going. You all rest easy. We'll get it when we get it. Took us longer than this to get the Fair Labor Standards Act, and we got it and we got paid. Now some people didn't, they didn't get any money because they weren't patient enough. But we are. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna make sure that it happens. So listen, don't forget we got a lot of activities going on, like the Infinite Scholar Program. It's going to the Infinite Scholar Fair. That's the scholarship fair. It's going to be at Chicago State this year. You all know where Chicago State is. And we're going to have things out there like Richland Park is having a fest. That's going to be a great, great, great outing. It's going to be on September 8th, 2018. out at Richmond Park, right where you get off the train, that metro train at the metro station right there, at Sauk Trail and Governor's Highway. It's going to be fantastic. Great entertainment, fun, food vendors. We're bringing that back. It's going to be just tremendous. Okay, that's going to be September the 8th. I'll give you more on that as we go forward. But I'm going to leave you with this. We have a brother in Chicago. They tell me he's over 100 years old now. He don't look like it. Timio Black. He's an activist. He's a historian. He knows more about Chicago than Chicago knows about Chicago. He was in the armed services. And this little piece that you're going to see, he's talking about when he went to Germany. And you know what? It just reminded me so much of today that I was just appalled. I was shocked when he asked the German soldiers, "Why did you all do this?" And he said, "Well, we didn't want to do it. It was the Führer." And this old boy we got now is trying to be the Führer, but he's too damn dumb to be anything. This is Trump. But anyway, so I want you to take a listen to this, and hey, remember, keep your head up. Keep talking. We'll see you again here at Talk Labor. This is Jerry Williams signing off. See you next week. Y'all stay up.
When we got up to Buchenwald to see and feel and hear the cries, I was shocked, though we had been through combats. And my imagination took me back, and getting some recall of my grandparents, of the experience of slavery, and having heard some of the anecdotes that they told, I began to feel this could happen to anyone, and think that in the long run, this is what happened to my ancestors, organized, systematic way. I was angry. I could speak a little German, and I asked them in tears, "How could you let this happen?" And they said, and I understood it in their language, "Mister, it wasn't us, it was the Führer, which made me furious." And I've made an emotional decision that when I return from the Army, most of the rest of my life would be spent trying to make where I live and the bigger world a place where all people could have peace and justice.
Yeah.